Hello, hello, everybody. Okay, so let's start our session, preparing ourselves for the week, mentally, emotionally, energetically, and doing a little visualization on steroids. So, as usual, for those of you who've been here before, first of all, we're just gonna give ourselves a little stretch, make ourselves comfortable. So if you've been sitting for a while, you can also stand up and shake your legs before sitting back down again. You don't have to leave your camera on. It can be on or off. When I share the recording anyway, there's going to be a picture over it, so you're going to stay anonymous at all times. So totally up to you. And once you've been, like moving your body, feeling nice and relaxed where you are, then close your eyes. And then the first thing we're going to do is connecting with our bodies and connecting with the ground, with the floor, with the earth. So first, pay attention to how you're feeling. Pay attention to the weight of your body where you're sitting. Make yourself aware of where you are in the room. And then allow your focus to drop all the way down into your feet. And there, notice the weight of your feet on the ground. Noticing the point of contact between the soles of your feet and the floor. And allowing your energy to ground into the earth. You can just set that intention that you're grounding yourself, or some of you might have some little visualization that they like to do to ground themselves. So allow yourself to do that. And then once you feel nicely connected to the earth, let's move back our attention and focus into the body and all the way up to the chest. And in the middle of the chest, we're going to connect with our hearts. And to do that, either place your hand on your heart, noticing the sensations of touch between your hand and the area of your heart. Or else you can just tune in a little bit more into either sensing or hearing the sensations of your heartbeats in your chest. Maybe when you're a little bit more present, you can feel your heartbeats or even hear them, hearing the sounds of your own body. And then once you've done that, once you feel connected with the heart, just imagine as if your breath is flowing in and out directly through your heart. Just imagine as if when you breathe in, your breath is flowing into your heart, and as if when you breathe out, your breath is flowing out from your heart. And then now we can start to slowly and gently harmonize the rhythm of our breathing. And if you just think about breathing a little bit slower and deeper than usual, that will just work fine. Taking this breath a little bit slower, a little bit deeper. And trying to have your breathing as regular, calm, comfortable as possible. And as you do that, breathing deeper, slower, regularly, while visualizing your breath flowing in and out through your heart. And that will bring a sense of calm onto you, onto your system. So let's do that together for a minute or two, and I'll let you know when we're ready for the next step. Okay, so keep breathing, this slow deep breath. You might already start to feel calmer, sense of peace. And let's take advantage of this quiet, neutral state to start reflecting for ourselves. And first reminding ourselves of the vision that we have for our future. Reminding ourselves where we are intending to go in our life. And that can be, what's my vision for my life, if that's clear. If it's a little bit too abstract or too far away, it could be, what are my goals that are coming up for me? It could be, what are my values, what's important to me. So first, reminding ourselves, what's the direction that we want to have in our life. If you're reminding yourself of some goals, try to also ask yourself, is it the ultimate goal, or is this a means to an end for something that's more important to me? So allow yourself to unfold behind the goal that's obvious. Is there something else that it would lead you to, that's even more important to you. Example, maybe if you're thinking that you want a new job or a promotion, what's behind? Why is this important? Because maybe it will allow you financial ease. And why the financial ease? Maybe because you'd want to travel the world. So there, maybe the goal is more about traveling the world than getting the promotion. So just allow your mind to ponder and reflect on that for another minute. What is it that's really important to you, that you want for your future? And even if you can, what is the energy of that goal, of that vision? Energy such as maybe freedom or adventure, peace, gratitude. So allow yourself that reflection. Okay. So now we're going to start contemplating the recent past, what happened last week, how did it unfold for us, to get a sense of how aligned we are already or not with our vision. So as you just mentally just imagine that you're turning yourself towards the past for a minute. If you want to even imagine that you're floating above your timeline to have a bird's eye view over the week that's just passed. And we're going to have a little reflection on what worked well and what didn't work as well as you hoped. So there, I encourage you to be open to remembering, contemplating every area of your life. But if you want to focus on one specific one, of course, you can do that too. It's up to you. And then you can reflect and observe everything that seemed to you that it worked well, all of the things that you want to expand on, that you would want to maintain and nurture moving forward, the things that you're going to want to capitalize on. And there you can ask yourself, okay, is this already aligned with my vision, with my values? And then when something comes to you that seems that it didn't work as well as you wanted, welcome this as useful information and reflect on it such as, okay, maybe that's something I will want to change. That's something I want to let go of. Something that doesn't serve me anymore in my life. And when that happens, also pay attention that sometimes things don't seem to work because the outcome doesn't work. But maybe there are still aspects of the process that brought you some joy or that seemed in the flow and seemed aligned. So allow yourself to distinguish between the outcome, whether it worked or didn't work, and the process. Did it bring you enjoyment or not? So let's do this for another few minutes, and then I'll let you know when we're ready for the next step. Okay. So now, after contemplating what happened last week, I invite you to ask yourself, what if? What if a version of last week was to repeat itself into the future over and over? Would it bring you closer to where you want to go? Is it already aligned with the vision that you have for your life? If last week was to repeat itself, is it drawing a trajectory that points right towards your vision and just get a general sense for it. Maybe you're at least heading in the right direction, maybe not precisely, but you're going at least in the right way. Or maybe it looks like you're a little bit or a lot off track. And if that's the case, no panic. Just welcome this as information as well, without judgment and with gratitude, because we're going to work on adjusting the trajectory. And week after week, we always have choice. We can always readjust our trajectory. And we're going to start doing that right now. So now I'm going to invite you to invite your imagination to come and play. And together we're going to imagine the best versions of the week ahead. So imagining what's the best possible scenarios, the best possible outcomes for the week that is starting today. And I invite you, if you want, to do it that way, starting by imagining what if you're in your absolute best state of mind, best ways of being, most aligned, most in the flow that you've ever been. You're fulfilled, you're content, you're efficient, you're making decisions easily, you are taking actions in a smooth way. So imagining yourself in that state. And just imagine then that everything during the week that is in your direct control, as you're in such a productive flow, everything worked absolutely magically. So what does the week look like when everything that's in your control, because you're in such an amazing place, you make everything work perfectly aligned, perfectly efficient. So allow yourself to imagine, what are you thinking, what are you doing, what results are you producing. And remember, you're in an absolute state of flow. And as you're going about your week, being your best self, you are actually somehow contaminating or radiating positively, so that people around you are also responding in an aligned, positive way. So you're starting to imagine, visualize also that the things that are not directly in your control are also working for the best. So what does the week look like when you're noticing that? That not only what you're doing is working great, but somehow the people and circumstances around you seem to respond to this alignment, to this flow that you're creating. So then what does the week look like? What do you see? What do you hear? What do you feel? So allow yourself to push your imagination there. What impact does this have on maybe some projects that you're working on? What impact does this have on people you love? What impact does this have on your relationships, your communication? And as you keep imagining, noticing how the flow that you're creating is impacting people and circumstances around you, you can push your imagination further and now notice how it also attracts new opportunities, new possibilities, synchronicities into your life that can be quite unexpected. So what if your state of flow is attracting new possibilities into your life? What could they look like? And again, allow your imagination to go wild. Don't limit yourself. Imagine big, dream big. New possibilities, opportunities, synchronicities that are unexpectedly coming into your life as a result of the amazing state of flow that you've been generating. And now I will invite you to set an intention that you're also open to welcoming into your life some possibilities that you're not even yet able to imagine. So now that you've pushed your imagination to the max, just set that intention that there are possibilities that you're not able to imagine yet. And those ones you're also open to receiving them. So when one of those presents themselves, you'll be able to recognize them, acknowledge them for what they are, even if they're very unfamiliar to you. They might look very different than what you're used to so far. So you'll be able to recognize them and still welcome them into your life. So here's just setting an intention, saying yes, yes to more, And once you've done that, just going to invite you to notice how you are feeling after imagining all this best possible scenarios, this best version of the week. Because remember, your mind doesn't really know the difference between what's real or imagined. So your imagination will make you feel as if it is really happening. So notice, how are you feeling? Maybe these are feelings or sensations that are familiar to you and you can put a name to them. Maybe you know that it's gratitude, you know that it's peace or excitement. Or maybe you're not quite sure, maybe it's just sensations that you're experiencing in your body somehow. You don't know, you can't name them, but you can feel them. And either way is fine. Because now we're going to make them stronger. So now I'm going to invite you to imagine as if these sensations are flowing in and out of your body through your heart with each of your breaths. So imagine as you're breathing in that these sensations somehow enter your body through your heart, and it makes you even more aware of them. Every time you breathe in, these sensations enter your body and get stronger. You can feel them with more intensity every time with each in-breath. Whatever they are, every time you breathe in, they're flooding through your heart into your body, filling in your body, filling your tank. And every time you breathe out, imagine or visualize as if also these sensations are flowing out into the space around you and in front of you. So with each out breath, you can visualize, you can see, feel, or imagine as if these sensations are radiating out, flowing out from your heart into the space around you and in front of you. With each in-breath, you're bringing these sensations into you with more intensity, and with each out-breath, you're radiating them out into the space around and in front of you with more power. And with each cycle of breath, you're noticing that the sensations get stronger and stronger. With each cycle of breath, these sensations radiate out further and wider into the space around you and in front of you. With each cycle of breath, you're noticing that your heart is now bursting with these sensations. It's getting charged up. And now, as it's getting more and more intense with each cycle of breath, now we're going to ask our imaginations again to come and play. And now, with your next few out breaths, I'm going to invite you to imagine and feel at the same time that these sensations are so strong that as you radiate them out from your heart, they're expanding into the space in front of you with such intensity that they're creating a portal right in front of you, like a laser beam shooting out from your heart, literally carving out an opening into space. And this opening is not just into the space around you, it's also in time. So you're carving out a portal in time and space. And now, knowing that on the other side of the portal is an opening to the new version of the week. Behind the portal is a new version of your timeline that is upgraded with all the possibilities that you've just imagined. So now I'm going to invite us to imagine that you're walking towards the portal and now taking a step through the portal, knowing that you are stepping into your new future, the new version of the week. And as you step in, you just know that the timeline behind you is just dissolving, and you're now committing into this new version of the week. So as you enter the portal, taking your first step on the other side, just gonna invite you to enjoy for a moment, soaking in the new atmosphere, the new energy, the new opportunities and possibilities that you've just stepped into. You are now into the new version of the week. So allow yourself to connect with all of these new possibilities. And that means you can just enjoy for a moment being in that energy. You might feel the energy of these possibilities resonating with yourself. You might feel as if it's making your cells buzzing. And for those of you who are maybe more visual, you can even imagine what are you seeing? Imagining that you're opening your eyes in this new reality. What do you see? Maybe the light is different. Maybe the colors are more vibrant. And maybe if you're more of an auditory person, maybe you might hear new voices or recognize some voices. Maybe there are some sounds that you can hear from this new timeline. And maybe if you're more kinesthetic, you can imagine as if you're touching something, feeling the texture. What does it feel like? So all of this really anchoring yourself into this new version of the week, this new version of your timeline that you have just created. And again, enjoy the sensations, the new sensations. Notice the state that you're in, this expanded, connected state that you're in with this new future. And in order to stay connected with this new version of the future, in order to stay connected and be able to remember it whenever you need it throughout the week, we're going to create an anchor, a physical anchor. And this anchor is something very simple. It's a very simple gesture, such as, for instance, touching your index finger and your thumb together. It could be touching your heart with your hand. It could be something more subtle, like rolling your shoulders or taking a deep breath through your nose. So just allow yourself first to choose the anchor that you will want to use. Make it something easy for you to remember, something natural. And then, again, noticing how expanded and connected you are now. When you're ready, apply your anchor. So if you've chose to touch your fingers, touch them now. If you chose to touch your heart, touch it now. If you chose to take a deep breath, take your breath now. If you chose anything else, do it now. And now just know that this is anchoring your new state in this new future into your mind, into your body, into your psyche. From this moment now, each time you use your anchor, your body will immediately remember this state and strengthen your connection to this version of the week. It will be an instant reset into this timeline, this aligned timeline, and it will reinforce the flow of opportunities, possibilities, and synchronicities. So take one more deep breath and feel it locking in, knowing that this shift is now done. And now, before finishing our visualization, I'm going to invite you to set one more intention. And this time, that setting up that intention that as you are now about to go about your day, you will notice all the subtle shifts that remind you that you are into this new version. You will pay attention to all the signs, all the moments of flow, all the unexpected synchronicities, all of these signs that are confirmation that your new reality is unfolding. Just setting that intention that you will notice all the signs. Okay. And now once you've done that, we're gonna bring ourselves back in this new here and now. And to do that, I'm gonna invite you to rub your hands together until they're warm. And once your hands are nice and warm, put them at the top of your head when you feel ready. And then from there, touch your body, starting from your head, down your neck and shoulders, and all the way down your arms. And then back from the top of your shoulders to the front of your body. And then back up again on the sides of your body, all the way down your rib cage, down to your hips. And then your back, all the way back as up as you can, touching your back all the way down your spine. And it's as if you're reminding yourself of the boundaries of your own body, making sure you're back in there fully. And then touching from your hips down your legs, your thighs, your knees, your lower leg, all the way down your feet. If you can touch your feet, it's great, but if you can't, no worries, just press your feet into the floor, making yourself aware again of your connection with the floor, with the earth, and grounding your energy into the earth one more time. And once you've done all of this, then you can open your eyes. And welcome back. Welcome back, everybody. So I hope you had a good time. And I shall say see you next week, next Monday, for our next session. And in the meantime, look after yourselves and have a great week.